And gentlemen, welcome to another Truth Report Live. Today, we have a correspondent on the ground, ladies and gentlemen, in Joburg, because Helen Zille will set out her manifesto, priorities, and policies if she's elected to become the next mayor of Johannesburg. Our correspondent right now, JP, is on the ground. Let's. I'm going to show you some visuals, as you can see there. There are some visuals coming in from him, and they're having a bit of a party. They're having a bit. It's a bit of excitement as they get ready. Good vibes. It's a sea of blue in the area that they're in.
Welcome to the stage. The best number one in this MC part, the one and only Councillor Mulungisi
I think they're still partying and dancing. Yeah. It's really nice, actually, like the good vibes that are going on there. Hyping up the crowd. I guess there's going to be some speeches. I'm sure Helen Zille is going to, speak, say something, and I'm sure there's going to be some other speakers as well that we'll have a listen to. Let's see if we can get some better visuals here.
Today. So, we're introducing people with more and giving like energy. I want to see this movement breakthrough. Please welcome my partner in Councillor Zille.
We have someone who's joined us, Andre Farrow. Looks like he has joined us. Andre, are you there?
Hey, good morning, Joe. How you doing, man?
Good, good. Where's your camera, man? We want to see if there we go.
There
There's
we
that
go. There we
handsome
go.
boy.
Yes. Thank you, my man. Thank you. Thank you. Are you doing well?
I'm good. I'm good. Why aren't you at this event? You're in Joburg.
Oh man, I've got other things. I have to focus on later today. I've got a radio show that
Okay.
I'm also preparing for at 11. So
Okay.
I got other things. Yeah. Usually my Saturday mornings are busy.
Cool. We can
Yes,
see
it
some
looks like a
visuals.
lekker party.
It looks awesome, man. I'm kind of jealous I'm not there. But it looks like they're gonna get started. I think there's gonna be like a few speeches, and then there's gonna be like a press conference and all that. I don't know how
Mm,
long this event is going to be, but you're welcome to stay on as long as you can. And
okay.
yeah, let's see. I want to read what that shirt says. I'm an icon. Okay,
Mm.
if you say so. If you say so, sir. Yeah. So, what do you think? Do you think Helen has a chance of winning? Being the mayor of Joburg.
If Helen focus on how to solve the issues in Joburg, she'll win. She'll definitely win. If she speaks about what the people are going through, if she speaks about their experiences in that city, the good, the bad, and the ugly, she'll win. She has to connect with the people. She cannot, come with this political speech, all high and mighty. Speak to the people. That's how you win elections. If you speak to the people will respond. So if she comes this morning and she literally says, "This is the issues. This is how we're going to solve it," the people in Joburg is going to listen. So for me, I really believe like South Africa, we have to shift away from the old school politics in the way
Yeah.
politicians address individual or address the communities and start speaking like the people, man. Like start saying, listen, we've got our roads are not good. We have blackouts. We have, our water restrictions is unbelievable. Like here in Gauteng or in Pretoria, we had literally a week of rain. And then we get a notification to say there's a water restriction. And I'm like, wait, hold up, hold up. I don't know where you guys have been living, but I've been seeing downpouring of rain for 7 days, and you're telling me there's
Well,
there's water restrictions. So
actually,
if she speaks like the people,
yeah. Well, actually, so there's I wouldn't say exclusive interview, but there's an interview that Rob herself has done recently, that's going to
mm,
release on Truth Report in the coming weeks, where he spoke to
mm,
Dr. Anthony. I forgot his surname, but he's like an expert on these things, water and all that stuff, even energy. And he says the problem isn't whether we have water or not. The problem is the distribution. That's the crisis. So South Africa
mm,
has water.
yeah,
It's just that the pipes are failing because nobody's maintained them, all that stuff. And so we're losing a lot of that water because of leaks and other factors. And he spoke about the water mafia, and there's like so much he spoke about. So look out for that interview. It's going to clear up what exactly is the
that's
water
that's
crisis.
that's yeah,
Yeah,
that's really good because I was going to get to that because it just shows you once again 31 years is biting them in the butt now.
yeah,
Of
100%.
the mishandling of funds and the mishandling of municipalities. It's finally bitten them in the big fat butt that they have. And now they like running around like headless chickens. And so this is a great opportunity for Helen just to grab it. Like remind people, of course, the bad, how horrible they, how they've treated the infrastructure. Remind people in Joburg, but also let people in Joburg know this is how I'm going to fix it. This is the process. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
Because people want to know how you're going to solve the problem. So if she comes out here this morning and she says, guys, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to win big. I'm going to use Donald Trump's famous bigly. We're going to win bigly. Let people be motivated and encouraged for the upcoming, election because people are, what's so sad is like I sit with young people and they tell me I'm not going to vote. I'm
mm,
not attracted to it. People are not talking like I talk. And I'm just like, okay, then we should actually, start getting to that level because the older generation is fading out. The new guys are coming in, and the new guys want to
yeah,
hear you say it like it is. Like young people, they love it straight talk, but they don't like this playing around the bush. Just get to the point, move on, say this is how we're going to fix it, and do it because they will keep
yeah,
you accountable. So from my perspective, Helen should just come out and take some 101 or tips from Trump when he comes to a rally and just do a thing, just be yourself, say it like it is, call out the horrible way, the municipalities have been running this city and show the people How are we going to fix it? And on day one, if she gets elected and she wins, she should get that ball rolling, start shifting things, because then people are going to go, oh, wow, she's really like,
Yeah.
she promised these things and this is amazing. And I promise you, you will always have people on your side. If your day one starts off with a bang, people will always stay on your side. People will always be like, well, you know what? Joe actually promised what he said he's going to do. He did it. He solved the illegal immigration in Joburg, how they hijacking buildings. He solved it on day one. Kick people out, send them back to their countries. And Joburg is not cleaned only for international leaders, but Joburg is actually clean for the people that live in Joburg. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Joe, I'm a lot of the times people are like, where do you lead? What do you lead? I'm like, listen here, if you can do the job, you do the job. If you qualified, you have the experience, you should do the job. Look at Cape Town. You're in Cape Town, in your
Yeah.
beautiful city. It's a beautiful city, man. Cape Town looks beautiful, and so if we can get Joburg back to the city of gold instead of the city of rubbish, that would be amazing. That would be amazing because people can start living again,
Yeah.
Let's get the businesses back. Let's get people back into that city that actually loves that city. Because at the moment people are fleeing. I think it was in 2020, up to 2020 up to 2023, around 200,000 people moved out of Gauteng alone to the Western
Yeah.
Cape. And that is a massive move. And you do not want that because firstly, number one, that's money going into the Western Cape. Number two, that's businesses moving. So Joburg needs to wake up. And if Joburg is listening, wake up. You have an opportunity to make a change, and your change is when you go and vote.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like Joburg is falling. Like if you look at the property prices, I've seen some insane property prices, man, like 5 bedrooms, 5 garages, swimming pool. I don't know how huge the property itself is, like huge back garden, huge front garden. Like some of this stuff is like a mansion for like 1.5, 2 million rand. And I'm like, in Cape Town, that would have
Yeah.
been 20 million rand. Like,
You understand what I'm
it's
saying?
insane.
And
Yeah.
it's shocking. It's shocking. And that's how you know the values are going down. If you look at the prices of homes, of property, you know the value is going down. And you don't want that. As a city, you do not want that. You don't want to be, San Francisco 2.0. You don't want to be,
Yeah.
all these left-wing Democrat states where they literally the states are Detroit is burning. Like there's nothing like people are moving. And as soon as you have people moving, it just shows you how bad you govern. And so the previous mayors and the previous, political parties that was in charge of Joburg, once again, it has shown. And the DA needs to start standing on their own. Win this municipality election on your don't include other parties. Don't win it on your own. Get the votes you need. Put in the time. Meet people face to face. And I promise, because if you start bringing in, and this is a typical thing with the DA, is that they combine, municipalities with other parts, and then they get stabbed in the back. Look what happened here in Pretoria. So the DA needs to start standing on their own. Start saying, hey, listen, yeah, this is what we're going to do, how we're going to win it, and put it in. And I have to say this, I never thought I'd ever say this, Joe, but Helen Zille has become the troll master on social media. She has truly become the troll master on social media. So for me, that, watching her post, I'm having a good laugh. I'm like, oh, you're so good. Like whoever's doing a social media part is actually putting in the work. And so they should continue doing that. Meet with the people, do the work. And I promise you the DA can win Joburg if they just start speaking like the people, and talk about the struggles that people are going through, but also solve the problems. And on day one, get things done, get things cleaned up, get things moving. Don't wait, don't get things done. If certain municipalities don't want to play along, put them out there. Put them out. Let everybody hear about them. Section 22, they don't want to assist. Put it out there. Start calling out names. Stop playing this political game. And people are getting tired of it. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of it. just having
Oh,
this,
yeah.
political conversation, this diplomatic talk. No, call them out. Say as that municipality stront aanvang, roep hulle uit. Say, no, you guys are not going to get funding. You are not going to get the assistance you need until you clean up, until you sort that. Like, she needs to play those games. She needs to play those games to get that city back where it needs to be. I used to watch Igoli back in the day, see it on TV, and when you see that intro, you see Joburg as the city of gold. I want it back as the city of gold, Joe. I want it back, and it's a beautiful city, man. It's a beautiful city. We need it to be once again an attraction for the world, because they don't talk about Joburg anymore. If I look at social media, they don't only talk about Cape Town, your city, and they talk about the Gatsby's you can eat. They talk about the Table Mountain. But Joburg, Naxi, Chupstel, nothing of Joburg. The only time Joburg was even at the G20.
Sorry to interrupt you there, but we've got a very special guest popping on very quickly, Mr. Rob Hersoff.
Hey, Mr. Rob.
Hey guys, I'm watching my son play cricket, and he's next
How's he
in
doing?
batting, so I might have to drop out when he's batting.
That's all right.
How's our
I'd actually
chat,
like to hear
guys?
your commentary. Sorry, Rob, I actually would like to hear your commentary. Get some father tips there,
Exactly.
Swing harder.
So, guys, my question to you on the mayoral election for Joburg is who's going to be Helen's competitors? I mean, you've got, Kenny Kunani of the Patriotic Alliance, which I like Kenny and I'm friendly with him, but that's a bit of a joke. And then you've got Herman Mashaba, who is probably a real competitor to Helen, even though he's not very popular right now, and he's done some deranged things over the last year and a half. I used to rate him very highly, but I think he's kind of lost the plot a bit. And those are the two main competitors I see, because I think a lot of people are sick and tired of Johannesburg just being destroyed by the ANC. I think the ANC has lost meaningful support in Johannesburg. But who are the competitors? Who do you guys see as people running against Helen?
Well, I think the names you mentioned are close. I think even though what's his name, Herm Mashaba, has kind of gone off the deep end, if you can put it that way, he thinks that's the populist vote. That's what people want to hear. I think he's going to have a rude awakening. I think what may work in his favor is that he was a mayor before and he did good things when he was mayor. So that might work in his favor. I don't know if people are going to judge him from the past or if people are going to judge him of what he is now. Kunene, I don't think has a chance. I think the real race is going to be between Mashaba and Helen. Andre, what do you think?
Yeah, I have to agree with that. But I think Helen got a slight foot up in a sense of she has Cape Town to point at and say, look at our setup in Cape Town. If it's not just Cape Town, you can look at other cities in the Western Cape that they have been running. So for me, Helen Zille is truly like, if she can play her cards perfect in this election, she will definitely get their heads up. And also, like I just said to Joe now, Rob, the young people, they kind of like shy away from this because they're not interested, because you have your typical politicians talking like politicians do. And she needs to grab the attention of the younger group, because I promise you, if she can grab that attention, if she can grab their attention and the way they do things, I promise you they will run and vote, because then she has the upper hand completely. And so for me, looking at those two, I would say it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting at the end of the day. But Helen Zille, for me at the moment, she has the upper hand. She needs to play her cards perfectly.
Look, my estimate is she's going to be in the 40%. I think the low 40%, which will be a huge move for the DA. She won't get to 50, 51, in my view. I'd love her to. I don't see it. And she needs to win the TikTok battle. So she needs to win the alternative media battle. We need more and more commentators, alternative media, podcasters, and analysts like Prince Mashele, who's endorsed her.
Mm.
We need more of those kind of people. We need Penn, the Black Pen to endorse her, DJ Spoo, Caesar and Pofu Walsh. We need the people that speak to the youth to endorse her. And I think that will happen.
Yeah.
I mean, what are the alternatives? The alternatives are Johannesburg collapses. That's the alternative.
Something I don't want. I don't want that
No,
city
I
to
don't.
collapse because
I don't think anybody wants that city to collapse. Not at all.
Mm.
I think Helen does stand a good chance of winning, but again, that race is going to be. I think it's going to be either a landslide with Helen and her Mashaba, or it's going to be very, very close. I don't, and I hope that she can implement what she wants to implement and change what she wants to change. The city desperately needs it, and I think everybody,
Joe,
like, that's the one.
I spoke to her and asked her, do you have quick wins? Do you have things you can fix quickly to
Yeah.
show people the DA can actually make a difference quickly on the ground? And she said, absolutely. And I think her first quick wins in the water area, in the water sector. So
Okay.
she can do that. And I think that will affect the national election in 2029. If Helen's seen to be able to fix things quickly in Johannesburg, a lot of people will go, wow, okay, maybe the DA
Mm.
can actually do the job at a national level. And that will,
Mm.
push the DA from 21% up to, in my view, high 20s, low 30s, which make all the difference. So this is a very
I actually,
important chess for the DA, and it's very important she can implement things quickly.
yes. I actually mentioned that you are that you have an interview with Dr. Anthony talking about the water crisis coming out soon on Truth Report, hopefully in the next week or two. Can you give us any like just your main highlight? Give the audience a bit of a teaser of what you found was most interesting in that interview.
Well, specific to Johannesburg, Dr. Anthony Turton, who's an unbelievable expert, put his hand up 20 years ago to say, we're going to have a water crisis. And he was right. He predicted it. He told specifically how it was going to happen. And for his bravery and his efforts, he got suspended from the CSIR, because the ANC deflect, deny, delete, and try and avoid issues. They've never understood what the word maintenance means. A maintenance budget is just something that the ANC can steal. And his most important comment was relating to Joburg. There are 150 different water systems that make up Johannesburg. 150. The water management challenge in Johannesburg is enormous on its own, let alone talk about electricity, potholes, and everything else. Water and sewage in Johannesburg is a major, major operational challenge. And you need skilled management to make any difference there. As we know, the ANC is about the furthest thing on the planet to having skilled management. They have cadres and incompetence. That's what they bring to the table. They're fucking useless, but bluntly, at all aspects. But when it comes to organizing water and sewage, they know how to break, steal, and allow the water mafia to come in and make a fortune by when they break things. Anthony Turton said, they're very skilled, the cadres, at knowing what to break and when, so they can benefit from bringing in water tankers. This is what they're about, breaking and stealing, or breaking so they can steal. And Anthony was extraordinary. He was fascinating. What he predicted 20 years ago has come to bear. And if you think load shedding, electricity load shedding, was a disaster for the ANC is going to drown with water shedding. When this hits, and it's not just quantity, supply, we've got enough water in South Africa. We just can't get it into the taps because infrastructure is breaking down. But it's not just supply, it's quality. There are certain parts of South Africa that are getting such bad quality of water that new diseases are going to come to bear to affect people and food supplies. It's a major disaster. I mean, electricity allows an economy to grow, but water is the source of life. And the ANC has managed to destroy that. So back to Johannesburg, I think Helen's going to move on fixing the water problem in Joburg very, very quickly. And she knows what to do, and she knows how to do it quickly.
Yeah, I hope she does, because like you just said, there's so many factors I think a lot of people don't think about when it comes to water, and it's an extremely valuable and important resource. It's more than just what Lusufi said, where it's like, oh, what's the big deal? Just go to a hotel. I go to a hotel. I'm not the only one that's affected by this. Like,
The Sufi's an idiot.
Not
What a
everybody
clown.
has that kind of money for hotels. Not
Exactly.
everybody has that money just
So
to
guys-
go to a hotel.
Guys, just to wrap up, Helen Zille is a rock star. She has an unbelievable reputation. She's done the job. She knows what she's doing. And she's committed her life at age, whatever she is, 75, 78, to be the mayor of Johannesburg. What an extraordinary woman. I salute Helen Zille. And everybody should vote for her and make sure she is the one to fix our main city and the greatest economic unit in Africa. Go for it, Helen. I believe in you. We believe in you. On that note, I got to watch some cricket. Catch you guys
All right.
later.
Rob, quickly before you go,
Thanks,
is
Rob.
your
Thank you
son
so
going
much.
on now?
He's padded up and he's waiting. I got to make
Okay.
sure he's
All the
fired up
best.
and ready.
Yeah,
Cheers,
all the
guys.
There
best,
you go.
Rob.
6 or
Good luck.
6. All right.
Cheers, Rob. All right. Well, that was Rob herself popping in very quickly. And everything I agree with a lot of what Rob said. I think Helen is a rock star for wanting to do this. I just question, like, like there's one thing that's always in the back of my mind with this stuff is DA recently. A lot of their counselors and the people that they've put not in charge, but like for example, there's a lot of ANC members that have jumped to the DA. There's a lot of EFF members that have jumped to the DA, and it worries me because then they're put in the same kind of like job as they were previously. And are you really changing the situation? If this person was a counselor before, just of a different party, and now he comes over to your party, becomes a counselor, still a counselor, and then you put him in the same position, are you really changing anything? I don't think so. And that's why my worry with Helen's move here. Is this not maybe the ANC just trying to, because like I have this huge conspiracy theory, right? That the ANC is eating the DA. We're seeing it with John. I don't think Jordan Hill Lewis will be any different if he becomes the leader of the DA. I don't think he's going to oppose the ANC as much. I don't think the DA is a savior that they once painted themselves to be. A lot like Dean McPherson often agreeing now with the ANC. All the guys that are in top positions are agreeing with the ANC and try not to rock the boat too much. And people out there will say, yeah, but look at what happened with Home Affairs. Look how they're cleaning up and all that stuff. Yeah, maybe the ANC wanted it to be cleaned up. We don't know. Why did the ANC only give certain minister positions to the DA? Think about it. The ANC didn't give them the policing, the minister of police. No one in the DA has that, and they wouldn't. Why would they? Right? That's a big source of power. Same with the justice. Right? There's no DA guy in charge of that. They got education, agriculture, home affairs, and infrastructure and all that stuff. So yes, the DA was like, okay, we're gonna do our best with these portfolios. And have they done their best? I think only with home affairs. The whole agriculture thing is a mess now. They've captured John Steenhuisen. They've captured Dean McPherson. Who's to say that they're not going to capture Helen Zille? Now, I'm not saying she's not going to fix Joburg. I think she will. But I think she's going to do it with a muzzle. That's my theory.
You know what? A lot of people have that kind of, they think about those things. Exactly what you brought up. Like, you're looking at the past, you're looking at the present, and you're also thinking to yourself, but they've done this with Steenhuisen and you know, this and that. And a lot of people are asking those questions. Is this full on just DA running for DA? Or is DA going to, you know, just add a whole lot, have a mini GNU, you know, kind of setup? And a lot of people they are worried because we see what's happening with the government and we think to ourselves, this has been an epic fail. You know what I mean? The mere fact that you had Cyril Ramaphosa say to Donald Trump, listen here we have, our minister, he's white, he's an opposite, opponent, and he's joined my party. And I thought to myself, that's an interesting thing to say. He's joined my party. And so a lot of people are listening carefully. And so people just need to, for me, I always say this, give them day one. Give them day one, see where they go. And Helen Zille got a great opportunity to kind of like, just put that aside and say, okay, people, this is full on DA. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. I agree with you. The mere fact that people are just switching is scary, because they can switch but still have that kind of same mindset that they had like a few months ago. You know what I mean? Where they did absolutely nothing for the communities, and now they just switch over to DA and it looks like something brand new. And I think Helen needs to just like kick people out, man. If you haven't done your job in the last year or two, kick you out. Say, listen, you've had an opportunity. You can't carry on like this, and we're gonna move you out. We're gonna actually put people that can do the job, and that's what she needs to do. And so a lot of people do have that kind of mindset that you also on the conspiracy side is thinking like, ooh, what if? And it's good to have that what if questions, because we kind of tired of politicians playing these games. Stop playing games, get the job done. Like, I agree with Rob. On the TikTok side, Helen should go all guns blazing, because there you're connecting with young and old, but especially the young. And she needs to just keep on going the way she wants. But she needs to also just be firmer, because she's going to get opposition. Being a mayor is not going to be all rosy. You're going to have specific councils and specific municipalities that are not going to play the game. You know what I mean? And so they need to clean up their act. She needs to be firm. She needs to say, and like I said, the best thing that she can do right now is call them out. Call them out, those that do not want to play the ball. Get them off, get them out, and start fixing, because people want to see fixing. I agree with what Rob said, that the watershed is going to be more intense than what load shedding was. And if it keeps going on the way it is, at the end of the day, and this is what I think people need to understand. Great example. In New York, they voted for a socialist democratic mayor. That state is literally like on the brink of bankruptcy because of all the free things he's promised and given. Now he wants to increase property tax. People cannot afford that. And now their vote is literally biting them in the butt. And that's not what you want. And so people should start looking at what's happening around the world, looking at what's happening in other provinces, and start realizing if we go that route, it's going to happen to us as well. And so Helen Zille got a great opportunity. And I haven't enjoyed the DA as much as I'm enjoying the DA right now, because I'm looking at, especially here in Pretoria, we also have another DA, running for mayor. And I'm thinking to myself, Pretoria needs to be also cleaned up. There's a whole lot of problems here in Pretoria. And so, these two cities are so close to each other, but these two cities are very critical to South Africa's economy, to South Africa's growth. And if it doesn't get cleaned up, if it doesn't get fixed up, South Africa is going to crumble. And at the end of the day, I'm going to say it like it is. Voters, do not complain. Do not complain. Do not go and vote in emotions and feelings. Vote with common sense. Vote with facts behind you, and vote knowing that I want this place to be fixed up. If you have been struggling, and I want to say this to voters, if you have not had water in the last 3 to 4 weeks, that gives you an indication how to vote. That gives you an indication on how to vote. So, Joe, I think that Helen has the ball in her court, and she has to take it full on, man. She has to take it full on.
Yeah, we'll see. I think she's ready. I think she can do it. But again, it's I'm worried about where the blue ship is going at the end of the day. There's
that's a good concern.
Yeah. like where is this ship headed at the end of the day? Are we just going to, because this can easily happen where the ANC pretends like it dissolves, and a lot of ANC people jump over to the DA, and then the DA is like I don't know, not a reform, but like they can say that we're the new DA, we've changed our ways, we're going to focus on this, we're going to focus on that, but it's the same old over and over. Like look at the MP and ANC, right? When the MP was falling apart, a lot of the NP members jumped over to the ANC. And they continued with the left communist socialist kind of stuff. So yeah, it seems like there's someone talking. Let's just have a look here and see what they're saying.
I'd like to firstly acknowledge everyone watching us on the DA YouTube channel. And I would like to also remind you and urge you, everyone who's watching and everybody here, to ensure that you are vote correctly registered. You can do that by checking your registration status on check.voteda.org.za. That's check.voteda.org.za. Thank you very much, Democrats. I'd like to introduce a very remarkable woman. This woman has been with our region for the last 2 years. She's a member of Parliament. She is our current Johannesburg regional chairperson. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage MP Wendy Alexander.
All right, well, while that guy comes on, ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Cohen has joined us.
How's it going, everyone? Unfortunately, I can't stay for long, but I thought, Joe, I'd just come on for a little bit, say hi to you guys, have
No
a word or
worries.
two.
No worries, all good. We're just going to have a listen to what this lady has to say.
Joburg, Igoli, the place of gold. This day did not come from nowhere. It came from a hunger, a hope, from people who packed their bags and everything they owned into a small bag, and they walked towards a horizon they could not yet see, because they believed somewhere in this dust, in this red earth, there was something worth finding, building, and becoming. The belief in Johannesburg is its oldest inheritance. We are alive right now in this room. And I want to say once more, welcome and good morning. Before we start anything, I have to say, as the regional chair, to all the activists in this room, once again, thank you for everything that you do. Not a podium kind of thank you. This is a real kind of thanks, because I know what it costs for you to show up. You sit across the room from angry voters. You knock on doors that don't always get open. You fly banners in streets that are not always welcome. And you come back next week and you do it again. This is not ordinary, and never let anybody tell you that. Look around this room. We have more active branches in this region than ever before. Our activists are out there on the ground, in our townships, in our suburbs, in our business districts, and in our informal settlements. You are speaking to registered voters to make a case for a different kind of Johannesburg, a Joburg that is not in retreat, but one that is advancing. But we do have a high mountain to climb. This is not about getting people to vote for the DA. It is something much harder. It is about getting people to believe, because they have years of broken promises, potholes, power cuts, and unanswered calls. The Joburg people are tired, and they have become skeptical. They're going to ask us what is different this time. And today the answer is Today is the unveiling of our manifesto. It's not a glossy document. It's not designed to gather dust. It is real and honest and commitment to the people of the city. Cleaner streets, reliable water, safety in your communities, economic opportunities that reach everybody, not just the connected few. Dignity. That is what every resident in Johannesburg deserves, full stop. Regardless of where you live, regardless of who you voted for last time, come and vote for the DA. We are leading this commitment to somebody that I'm immensely proud to stand alongside. Helen Zille is in this race. This is something more than money can buy, and this is nothing that stories can fake, because she has a track record of actually delivering, the courage to say what needs to be said, the courageousness to follow through on that, and she understands what the city needs. And she holds an unbelievable belief in becoming the city that it once was. This combination is rare. We are fortunate to have it. Joburg is fortunate to have it. But let's leave this room with a clear objective. First, every single one of us in this room have a job to do. We're going to start the moment we walk out the door. First, we have to register everybody in Johannesburg. Starting with your street, your block, your building, your family WhatsApp group. You make sure everybody is registered to vote, because every unregistered supporter is a vote that is lost in the election. Secondly, we need to get them out on election day. Every single DA voter needs to go to polling booth. And third, we will not pay for second place. We're not paying for coalitions. We're not paying for the largest majority. We are playing for an outright majority in the city. Because nothing less is going to bring Joburg back to what it should be. Nothing less is going to restore the shine in our once great city. Coalition by committee doesn't save the city. We need to govern it properly, decisively, and with a mandate. That is our mission, and that is what this manifesto is built for. That every canvas and every registration that we are working towards. And I want you to carry something when you leave this room, a memory, not just of the speeches this morning, not of the policy documents and the launch event. I want you to leave this room with this feeling, the energy, the faces, the people that we love in this city, that we are fighting for, that we are refusing to give up on, that we are working hard towards. It isn't going to be easy, but it is going to be worth it. This is exactly what Joburg needs. Igoli didn't come with its name from what it was. It got its name because the people believed in what it would become. We are those people. This is that moment. Joburg is ready. The DA is ready. The simple question is, are you ready? Now, let's go get our city back.
She wasn't too bad. That was interesting. I mean, she I don't know who that was, but yeah.
Yeah, me
Helen
neither.
looks
You're not
younger,
alone.
guys.
Ah, man. Living in a little bit more of a functional place will do that to you, you know. At least the Western Cape kind of works, you know.
Kind
I
of.
know
What do
you
you mean?
guys have
We
your own
have water,
problems.
man. We got water.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what's
well, that's
important.
actually the
We
fun
have
part.
water.
So that's the funniest thing. So for anyone wondering why I had to turn off my camera, I had to go check out some new neighborhood updates because the WhatsApp group is going crazy. Why? We had our water turned off yesterday due to another broken valve. This is probably the 5th or 6th week in my area where at least once a week we either have no water or we have low water pressure. So yeah, it's quite timely to say the least.
So you're moving to Cape Town next week then?
Yes, no, I think it's too expensive for me, Joe. I don't know how you guys. I don't know
There
how
are
you guys
cheap
do it.
places. There are cheap places. I mean, we can set you up with shack in my backyard. I'll charge you like 500 Rand a month, maybe 1,000.
Yeah. All I got to bring is a toothbrush, right? That's what you told me the time we spoke about this. So I'll bring my toothbrush and then I'm good.
Yeah.
Careful
There you go.
what
See,
you wish for,
affordable.
Joe. I might just do it. Then it's
Yeah, we got a
affordable.
nice little pool for you to have a shower in and stuff like that. There's no, it's not going to be hot. It's like it's no hot water, but I mean, it's water.
Hey, that's all we need. At least you've got water.
Yeah.
It's just
No,
insane,
it's
man.
yeah, it is insane the fact that the Joburg has gotten the where it is. You know, such a vibrant and once beautiful, rich country. Sorry, city has now been broken down into something that is barely hanging on to life, which is very
Yeah.
concerning. And there's so many people that are really suffering because of it. I mean, like I think about like my daily, routine with the kids. Like
Sure.
I would really hate it. I'd feel so frustrated when it's the kids' bath time and there's no water and you've got to make a plan. You got to boil the water. You got to get this water. You got to get this bucket. Oh crap! Someone forgot to refill the bottles today. Oh no! So we don't have water. Like it would drive me absolutely crazy. I actually spoke to someone this week who said they moved to Cape Town because of the water crisis. Like it just got too much for them.
Look, I can believe that, but I think what's actually scary for a lot of people is that it goes beyond just the water. Like, I think a lot of people who don't live in Joburg might not realize, but okay, first and foremost, the CBD has been absolutely destroyed. I mean,
Mm.
yes, it's very nice that you've got Sandton, and obviously a lot of the big business is now in the heart of Sandton, and that's all private sector run. I mean, even the land that's been purchased, you look at the Discovery building, etc. But I think the other problem that we've got here is the fact that rates aren't getting any cheaper, but you're receiving minimal service. Crime is out of control. And I mean, look, I don't want to sound like a pessimistic person, but damn, I don't think Helen has a hope of saving this place. And I don't say that because of her. I say that because I don't see how any mayor is ever going to save Joburg. But she could get a lot of the small ones, I think. So let's see what she can do
All right.
if
Well,
she gets in.
that's an interesting take, considering that before you were on, we had Rob on here who was saying that Helen is the final kind of like not the final, but maybe the last hope that Joburg has. So he seems to be very confident that she can fix things. Um,
Yeah, I do totally understand where he's coming from, because if you have to like really think of who in the country is capable, there isn't somebody more qualified with a better track record than her. But you see, the problem I think goes beyond just a mayor's responsibilities. Like the fact that you've got so much crime, the fact that you've got a lot of illegal foreigners as well. I mean, last few times when I've driven past like a lot of the inner city, some people who are in Joburg who are watching this will know what I'm talking about. Hillbrow, Berea, Yeovil. I mean, you go past places where like you'll see like a church and it's in Amharic, the writings in Amharic, and it's just this area is Nigerian and this place is Zimbabwean and this place is Congolese, etc. And I just think that unfortunately, there's a lot of problems that are just out of a mayor's reach. Like, I don't know how she'll ever be able to beat them. But hey, it's like I said, I do think she'll be able to do some stuff. I mean, potholes should get fixed, street lights should get fixed, cleaning up the place, not allowing the grass and the bushes and things to just be overgrown and stuff like that. So, yeah, don't get me wrong. It's not to say that Helen Zille mayoralty will be positive. It's just I do not know how one mayor is going to be able to run the show. I don't know how this place is ever going to turn into a Cape Town, let's say.
mm, mm. Yeah, I think if it does, it's going to be a long process because you've got water tank mafias as well that are in the fray there. So you got to get rid of those people. You've got to get rid of the criminality. And it's going to be a long process. It's not going to be quick. I don't even know if she'll be able to do it in her first term. I think we'll start seeing changes in her first term. Like you said, the street lights going back on, the potholes, those are easy wins. But the biggest one is going to be the water. The water, if she can fix the water within a reasonable time frame, or at least start to get certain areas back online, then that might at least give her a chance with a second term, and then give her more time to fix the situation. But we'll see. She's also old, man. Like I was very
Yeah.
surprised when she said she was running for mayor, because I'm like, yo, Goose, you're like old, man. Like, no offense. Again, it's great that
No, but I understand.
yeah, like, like, I'm not saying her time is up or anything, but damn,
Right, like
Just-
she's in her later years. Like
Yeah.
if you're starting, how old is she again, Joe? Was she like
she's 70 odd or
70
something. Let me actually check.
something? But yeah, you do that. But like the thing is, you're at that age when you're starting, and then you're going to be in for 5 years, and that's just your first term. So
74.
74. So it's like you're gonna, if let's say you get 2 terms, you're gonna leave when you're 84. That's old.
Like, let's not have another Joe Biden. Like, I don't want it to be the Joe Biden of South Africa.
No, I don't think it will be like that. I don't think it will be a mumbling speech. Every time he speaks, I cringe. I'm like, ugh. I have no idea what he's
Yeah.
Well, when she gets
If
close
it's
to the
something-
80s,
if it's
above 80s, we might have, like, oh, wait, where am I? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Deep.
Look, I do agree with Andre there. Like, she's definitely more lucid. She's not like Joe. I mean, that she's at least
Yeah.
shot. Like, so
Yeah,
maybe
at
she could
74.
also just maybe she could also like be the person who like starts the change, and then if she's got like a successor who comes in after, maybe that's also part of the plan. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see.
Guys, I
So
have to
these
jump
guys
off.
really.
Have a fantastic one. I have to jump off. I have to prep for the radio show. But
No worries.
guys, keep watching Truth Report. It's amazing. Joe, enjoy. Matt, I'll see you. We'll talk again.
Great. See
Cheers,
you,
Andre.
Andre. Have a good one.
All right. Yeah, so it seems like there's a big party happening. That's
Yeah, like they got their like usual chanting guy. I don't know what you call him, like the MC or
hype man.
something.
The hype man.
The hype man. Yeah, there we go. The hype
yeah.
man. Can't believe I forgot that term. Yes,
We're
bingo.
here
Hype man.
for Helen, and she hasn't made an appearance yet. She's probably running late.
No. Although I don't blame her. Probably with all the robots out and the potholes they got to swerve around, she's probably late.
It's not her fault. Yeah, I think what I've noticed as well from the DA in Joburg is there's a big push for people. They're saying register to vote, which I think. See, like, this is my one. I don't want to say gripe, but like, it's not the correct word. Isn't gripe, but my one. I don't know. I'll use gripe for lack of a better word. With political parties in South Africa, I don't think they should be encouraging new voters to vote, or new people to register in order to vote. That's not the problem. The problem is because we have a big pool of registered voters, but very little of them go to vote. That's the problem. The problem is you're not connecting with the already existing pool of registered voters. So the problem isn't the voters. The problem is you as a political party. If you're not connecting with these voters, then you've got to look at your policies or your manifesto, whatever you call it, so that you can appeal to these voters. Because there are a lot of voters that just don't vote. And I think
that's a good point.
even if the DA could swing 5% of the people who don't vote, I think it could change the outcome of the votes. But let's see who this is and what he has to say. This guy came with his own camera crew.
Johannesburg, hello, something, hello.
Hello. Dumela. Legal.
Sorry, for those who
I
might
want
not
you to
know,
be
it
quiet for a
seems
second.
like it's Solly Mzimanga who's there.
I want all of you to be quiet for a second. Because I want to tell you something significant about where you are right now. This same building here, this same building, in 1992, that's when the referendum was declared and was voted on, to then ensure that we end apartheid in South Africa. This same building here, in 1994, before the elections, hosted the first sitting where they were educating people about voting, how it's going to go, and the importance of it. This same building here had queues that were going all the way around. When people came here to vote for the first time, full of dreams, full of hope, full of inspiration and aspiration for a better South Africa. This same building here next door, you leave this door, you go in there. That's when we started seeing disaster descending on Gauteng and South Africa and Johannesburg. This same building here next door, that's when we started saying it's okay when you don't have water. You can go to a hotel and shower. This same building produced people that went to parliament and said, even if the rain falls, we use our butts to pick it up. This is a significant building. And this is a building that today we are bringing a pledge to the people of Johannesburg. A pledge to the people of Johannesburg that says, we've heard you. We know that when Johannesburg sneezes, the whole of South Africa, in fact, the whole of catches a cold. Because this, more Gauteng, a place of gold, the place that we and suwe emakhaya niza la eGoli nithi nizofuna uncedo, nizofuna ukuthi abantwana baphile lapha ekhaya. Abantu basuke kude, abantu basuke eKapa, eNtshona Koloni, abantu batho bebatsho kuLimpopo. People were coming from Venda, Messina, people were coming from outside of South Africa, from Mpumalanga, from Limpopo, from the northwest, from all the corners and hinterlands of Southern and Central Africa. And there was a train that carries a whole lot of people to come to Johannesburg. These people came here full of hope. But now all we see when we walk the streets of Johannesburg is despair. We see our young people ravaged with drugs. Unemployment is rife and there's no opportunities. But we're saying to the people of Gauteng and the people of Johannesburg, the DA is here. We are bringing a pledge and a change that you can believe in. There's another one who wants to claim that he was doing exceptional work in Johannesburg. You see, there are other people who are schizophrenic. One moment they're saying, no, I did this. The other moment they're saying, no, you guys did that. Which one is it? Were you here or were you not here? You know, in Johannesburg, when Nico Diaga, when Belinda, when Michael San, and when Noni Sifumba and others were working tirelessly to get Johannesburg going, then one man wants to claim that he did all by himself. And then in Tshwane, where they were part of government, where they were part of decision making, and then they come and say the previous government, because of now they claim to be alone in the government there. You see, that's schizophrenic behavior. But we don't care about that. What we care about is the people of Johannesburg and what they want. What we care about is that the people of Frostburg and the surrounding area, Soweto and the surrounding area, the people of Sandton, Midrand, where water now is becoming an issue, that's who we care about. What we care about is a businessman that his business is about to collapse and is about to close because they cannot ensure safety and security and cleanliness of the city. What we care about is that young man from Soweto who's sitting in a corner athi ngizoyithola kanjani ngoba noma ngifaka ama-CV awukho umsebenzi. What we care about is ugogo who wants to go to a clinic and find a clinic that is working, a clinic that is clean, a clinic that has amanesi azomnakekela. What we care about is being able to go into a police station that is able to then work. What we care about is metro police that are not asking for each other. That's what we care about. Democrats, we are going to make it. Never doubt that we are going to make it. We are going to know whether singena Alexander door to door umkhukhu ngomkhukhu siyongena lapho. Whether sizongena Orange Farm umkhukhu ngomkhukhu indlu ngendlu sizongena lapho. Whether it is in Sandton, open those doors. Extend for your loss me. You can't say I vote for you, leave me alone. If you want a city that works, stand up and get involved and assist the Democratic Alliance to do what needs to be done. That's what we're going to need to then do. If we don't change Johannesburg, you would have failed South Africa. Because if Johannesburg cannot work, Gauteng cannot work. And if Gauteng cannot work, South Africa is a failed country. So I hope that you're ready, Democrats. You're not here to listen to me today. Mine is to say to Helen, to Gogo, you have done it once. We know that you can do it again. Mine is to say to the Joburg councillors, Ngiyabonga bafowethu. Thank you very much for the hard work that you've put in. Mine is to say to the activists, my darlings, the ones that are closer to my heart, because without you, there is no DA. Mine is to say to the people of Gauteng and the people of Johannesburg, you can sit behind that computer. You can sit behind Facebook, Twitter, wherever the platform that you're sitting on and complain about how things are going wrong. And then still continue to have some of the say. Or you can stand up, come and wear this blue t-shirt, walk the streets with us, knock on those doors, make sure that each and every person talks about an alternative, and the alternative is a Democratic Alliance. We are ready to paint this city blue. We are ready to make a difference. We are ready to make South Africa to work again. Amandla! Amandla! Phambili Joburg, phambili! Phambili Helen, phambili! Democrats ngiyabonga.
Powerful words there, no doubt. Powerful words. I think that was okay. Speech was good, but same message over and over. I think let's build. I thought he was going to say make Joburg great again.
He won't. The DA is a liberal party. They'll never.
Yeah, it was all right. I think
just to warm up the crowd.
Yeah. We've heard this kind of stuff before. This is what they're going to campaign on. I think people, it's again giving people hope, which is not a bad thing. But I don't know, man. I'm still leaning towards Freedom Front Plus as a good party to really take South Africa to a place of prosperity. I know the Freedom Front Plus has a lot less supporters. However, they are gaining traction. And but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, look, I understand obviously a lot of people are looking at this more as a service delivery versus ideology. But like when I've looked at different manifestos, I think the two that kind of stick out to me are Freedom Front Plus and Patriotic Alliance. Maybe ACDP as well, but I doubt they'll ever really get traction. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Why does the Patriotic Alliance stick out for you?
So I like the idea of death penalty, stopping the illegal immigration. The foreign policy seems pretty sound. And then also, well, actually you covered this in a recent video, but they seem to be speaking out more and more about private property. So it seems almost as if there are a lot of overlaps with the Freedom Front Plus in those sorts of regards. No. Whereas, of course,
they're not speaking out against private property. They're speaking out against the illegal hijacking.
Yeah,
But not really for protecting private property. That's mainly because of the hijacked buildings.
Joe, can you maybe
has
explain
been-
that to me? Because you see, in my view, I'm thinking of public property because I mean private property, excuse me, because I'm thinking apartment owners, house owners, that will protect them. So could you maybe explain what the
take the
difference is?
hijacked buildings in Joburg, right? That's what Kineni was talking about. I think he was just using that as a political ploy to garner more votes for him as a mayor, because everybody is complaining about the hijacked buildings. Even the ANC has mentioned the hijacked buildings. But I don't think they care enough to say like, oh, but we want to protect private property. It was more they want to amend the PI Act to get rid of the possibility of hijacked buildings. He didn't mention anything about the townships or shacks that go up or anything like that. He was focusing in on the apartments that were being hijacked and how, in his view, illegal immigrants are using it to basically, human trafficking, illegal kind of, or for criminal use, and that to me is not. He's just standing on a soapbox and using a problem, saying that he's going to fix it, and who knows if he actually is going to fix it? Who knows if they actually are going to change the PI Act or amend the PI Act? And even if they amend the PI Act just to focus in on apartments, well, the problem still persists of the PI Act. If someone goes onto your property, which is a house maybe, and puts up a shack, then they're still protected because now it's just not an apartment. So it doesn't really. I wouldn't say that they. And here's why I say it as well, because Gayton McKenzie himself has gone on stage and said that he supports EWC. You cannot support private property rights if you support EWC. So that's why I was skeptical with the PI, with that article when Kuneni came out and said, "Oh, we want to change the PI Act so that we can get rid of the hijacked building or the hijacked building problem in Johannesburg." When you know that the leader has said that he supports EWC, then you look at that statement in a different light.
So so it's basically almost like saying we're gonna help these private property owners, but not those private property owners.
The hijacked buildings are actually a mix of private property owners and government buildings.
Fair.
Because a fire station was hijacked. It's one of the hijacked buildings. That's a municipal government property.
Interesting. So basically, okay, so if we were to assume that this is Kunene's thinking, then basically what would be implied is that if, let's say, meaningful change came about somehow, right, then basically the PI Act gets reformed and whatnot, but it's not necessarily because he's defending private property rights, but rather it's just sort of a spillover from them pushing for this, and then it gets passed. So it's not as if it's their intention, it's more just a spillover effect. Would that be more or less correct, Joe?
Yeah, I'll chat to you more about this. I think Helen is going to go on stage now, so I just don't want to miss what she says.
Yeah, there she is.
All right, let's see what she says.
Okay, everyone, let the world hear our war cry for this election. Get Joburg working. 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 Get That's what we want to hear in every home, in every street. Get Joburg working. Because we know our city can work again. Our city is not hopeless. because we are full of hope. And we know we can rebuild a city we can all be proud of. Blue people, Yanitana Nonke. Thank you, Blue people, for coming here in your numbers to this wonderful celebration of our campaign to rescue our city. Last month wasn't a good one for us because President Ramaphosa, delivering his State of the Nation address, used our city, Johannesburg, as an example of a failing municipality. A few months earlier, he gave voters advice on how to fix their city. He told them to take a lesson from where the DA governs, because that is where towns and cities work. That is where towns and cities work, where the DA governs. Then, on budget day, Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana joined in. He singled out Joburg for having the country's worst financial management and called for municipalities to hire competent people to get our cities working. Now think about that. Out of all the broken municipalities in the whole of South Africa, the President and the Minister of Finance singled out our beloved Joburg. Why? Because even the ANC knows what we know. If Joburg fails, South Africa fails. But if we can get Joburg working, we can get South Africa working. And that is everybody's dream here today. The President acknowledged the problem, but he stopped there. We will not stop there. Because the truth is this: Joburg is not failing because of bad luck or bad weather. It is failing because of corruption, incompetence, and years of political chaos. Joburg has an infrastructure backlog of about 300 billion rand. Now that's a figure that none of us can comprehend, because 1 billion is 1,000 million. So you can imagine what 300 billion rand looks like. I can hardly do that. But the ANC coalition spends less than 10 cents of every rand you pay to the city on building our city's infrastructure for the water and electricity we so badly need. Only 10 cents, less than 10 cents, out of every rand. And since the last local government election in 2021, mayors in the ANC coalitions of chaos have only focused on surviving the next motion of no confidence. When you are 100% focused on the short term, you will fail the future. Over the past months, I have traveled across our city, as you saw in that video. I have spoken to residents in all communities, from Alexandra to Sandton, El Dorado Park and Orange Farm, and everywhere in between. I've spoken to engineers, to business owners, to community leaders, and to citizens struggling to survive. And there are hundreds of thousands of those citizens. And everywhere people tell me the same thing: this city is falling apart. The government that we have now does not care. Broken pipes, there are more than 57,000 of them, which are reported every year. Potholes, more than 100,000 potholes that are destroying our cars. A corrupt billing system that robs hard-working people. A because it is so broken and so full of corruption. And the worst part, those running the city don't have a plan to fix it. In fact, they've given up on fixing it. The ANC is governing Joburg like a party that knows that the future is somebody else's problem. Someone else must always clean up their mess. And their partners as well. Look at Kenny Kunene, who is responsible for fixing Joburg's roads. Yeah, Onyansile. Oh, Kenny is responsible for fixing Joburg's roads. Hey, Undike Sanyani. Fixing a pothole has become such a rare event in Josie that Kenny Kunene announced a ribbon-cutting ceremony yesterday to celebrate the occasion. He wanted to cut a ribbon to open a fixed pothole. He probably just opened another pothole. But I was really interested in seeing how that would turn out, and so I was watching closely on my phone to see the news of this great new ribbon-cutting ceremony for a pothole. But then I saw that even that was postponed. He couldn't even get to his ribbon-cutting ceremony. And why? Because another pipe had burst nearby, creating another pothole to fill. So he couldn't open one pothole that had been filled because there was another pothole right next door to it. No wonder he is called Kenny Kunene of the Pothole Alliance. That is his party. Kenny Kunene represents the Pothole Alliance. But what gives me hope, despite all of this, is Joburg's heroic residents, and you are amongst them, who believe so passionately in this city. You, the blue people, are standing up to save Joburg. Our city has a spirit that cannot be broken. It is the spirit of making a plan, the spirit of hustling and getting ahead, the spirit especially of taking hands and working together. All our candidates have that spirit. That's one of the reasons they are chosen. And as you know, we are all in the middle of our candidate selection process that takes about 9 months. But I'm very proud to announce here today that we have selected our first group of ward candidates for the 2026 election. And I'm going to ask them to stand up now and please give them a huge round of applause. Is that right? Yeah. Good luck, guys. You're there to bring in the votes to rescue Joburg. And you are all the great people who help to get Joburg ahead. When one family gets ahead in Joburg, a whole street improves. And when your street improves, your suburb improves. And when your suburb improves, our whole city wins. There is only one party in South Africa that tries to bring us all together to rescue our city, and that party is the DA, the Blue People. Everyone knows that we can only get Joburg working if we take hands with each other. There are many parties that are trying to do the opposite. They are trying to divide us on race, on religion, on class, or any other excuse they can find to divide us so that they can get elected. With only 1 or 2 seats, but at least they serve their own purpose by dividing people. and saying that they only represent a few. We represent bonke abantu. We are for everybody in this city. And when we are divided, we know that the only result is instability in the short term and disaster in the longer term. Let us learn lessons from what is happening in other parts of the world, and let us consciously choose a different path. One nation with one future. One people rescuing a great city. It will take all of us working together to get Joburg working. And it will take a DA government to make that happen. We have thought very hard about what pledges we can make to the people of Joburg, what we will do in our first 5-year term. And here they are. Our commitment to the people of Joburg. Our first pledge is, what else could it be? To deliver reliable, clean water and a steady electricity supply. The people of Joburg pay for these services, but they often don't get them. We will stop stealing that is going on in the city right now. We will stop the stealing and the wasting of public money. We will ring-fence the revenue that residents pay for essential services so that the money is used to fix and maintain those services. And we will partner with the private sector to invest in infrastructure to keep this city running. Money collected for water must fix water. Money collected for electricity must fix electricity, not fund the ANC's friends and families and blue lights and Johnny Walker Blue. The only good blue thing in Johannesburg is the DA. That is the blue that will fix Joburg. Our second pledge is roads that work. We will fix the roads that keep Joburg moving, and we won't call a ribbon cutting every time we fix a pothole, because they will be fixed every single day. And by the end of our term, we will be able to fill potholes within 72 hours of reporting. We will ensure that at least 95% of traffic lights work at any time. That might put me out of a job, but never mind, at least the traffic lights will work for the people of Joburg. We will restore order to our intersections. Driving through Joburg's intersections is an absolute nightmare, and we will use tamper-proof technology to help us. Because right now, drivers are sitting in chaos every day. And that chaos costs you money. It delays workers on their way to work. It slows the entire economy. It damages cars and even kills our loved ones on the road. And that brings me to our third pledge, which is, and this is a very important one, to attract at least 200,000 new jobs to Joburg. To attract at least 200,000 new jobs to Joburg. With a capable government and reliable basic services, our city will once again become the economic powerhouse of South Africa and of Africa. We will attract these 200,000 new jobs by bringing Joburg's business centres back to life and restoring confidence in our city. Because when there is confidence, businesses invest, and create jobs. That's just the rule of economics. But we know that local government can't do this alone. Saving Joburg will require partnerships with business, with investors, and especially with the hard-working residents who believe in this city's future. And a government that helps them, not hinders. We don't need a government that gets in the way of solving problems like the one we've got now. Look at the facts. At the factories in Selby, businesses have not had water for over 8 months. We get upset when we don't have water for 8 days, and we should. We should get very upset. But there are businesses not far from here that have had not any water for over 8 months. So they can't operate. And 4,000 people in that small area stand to lose their jobs if those businesses shut down. So this is probably one of the key things I'm going to say today. Failing governments destroy jobs. Remember that. Failing governments destroy jobs. In the last 3 months of last year, Joburg lost 49,000 jobs. And at the same time, the one metro governed by the DA, which is Cape Town, gained 69,000 jobs. That's the difference between bad government and good government. The one loses thousands of jobs, the other one gains thousands of jobs. And since the last election in 2021, do you remember that election? Over 400,000 jobs have been attracted to the metro that the DA governs, which is Cape Town. 400,000 jobs. That single statistic tells the most powerful story. Where the DA governs, the economy grows and jobs are created. And we want to bring that story here to Joburg to get Joburg working. Businesses go where cities work. And the result is more jobs for the people of those cities. Our fourth pledge is to bring law and order. We will kill corruption, even if the corrupt try to kill us. We will kill corruption and make public spaces safer. More jobs will help us fight crime, but that won't be enough. We will be unapologetically tough on crime. We will reclaim hijacked buildings and stop illegal land invasions. We will have zero tolerance for corruption and illegal immigration that undermine the rule of law. Crime destroys cities. We will restore order to public spaces and clean them up. We don't have to be embarrassed walking through the streets of Joburg. We will have honest metro cops operating in every ward in the city, and there will be no mercy for corruption syndicates that capture our officials. We will fire corrupt officials. We will fire corrupt officials and send them to jail. Bayachimali, we will send them to jail. And finally, we pledge to be a professional, modern government and build a city that you all can be proud of. A government that cares about everyone. A government that you can trust. We will hire competent professionals and reward good performance. We will not tolerate poor performance and laziness. We want results. We will treat our law-abiding citizens with the respect they deserve. We will treat you like customers, not nuisances. We ask you to pay your rates and taxes, and in return, we pledge to rebuild the city's capacity to deliver quality services and fair value for money. But none of this can happen unless we fix the politics of Joburg. Let's be very clear, politics broke Joburg. The choices that voters made in the past broke Joburg, and only the voters, through the political process, can fix Joburg. So politics must fix Joburg, but that can only happen if voters understand their role in that and deliver the Blue Party to govern the city. The ANC's brand is corruption, crime, and collapse. That is the ANC's brand. There have been a lot of studies. When you say to people, what is the first word that comes into your head when you hear ANC, 90% of the people say corruption. 90% of the people say corruption. The DA's brand is making things work. That is the DA's brand. Maintaining roads, removing refuse, delivering clean water and reliable electricity. All the things you need to build a better life on and to get ahead in your life. There are people who will lie to you and tell you that the DA only governs well in the suburbs and for certain categories of people. This is demonstrably false. Look at the evidence. This statement is false. Using all available official statistics to compare South African cities, the evidence tells you that cities governed by the DA are cities where poor people have the best chance in life. Places like Cape Town and Midvaal, and other places where the DA leads stable governance, are head and shoulders above the rest. I'm going to ask you some questions now. Who delivers better to all communities? The DA. Who attracts investment for more jobs? The DA. Who delivers the most subsidized housing? The DA. I can go on and on. But the most important statistic by far is this. Absolute poverty in Cape Town has dropped from 33% when the ANC governed Cape Town to 19% now. That is the most important statistic to tell our critics who say we only govern for the suburbs. Absolute poverty in Cape Town has dropped from 33% when the ANC governed to 19% today. Now, of course, 19% is still too high and there is a lot of work to do, but the trend is moving in the right direction. And tragically, that can't be said for most other parts of the country. The debate on who governs better is now over. Game, set and match. Poor people have a better life where the DA governs. There's no argument about that. All the government's official statistics tell us that. In fact, ironically, because you'll remember what the old ANC slogan was in 1994, in fact, ironically, it is the DA that actually delivers that better life for all. And we can do that in Joburg too. but we cannot do it without you. Every single one of you. There are only two parties that have a chance of being the biggest in Joburg after the 2026 election. Only two. One is the ANC and the other is the DA. The Smolanyana parties just keep the ANC in power. They are part of the problem. There is only one way to be part of the solution in Johannesburg, and that is to vote DA. That is true. In the last local government election in 2021, I'm sad to say that only 43% of registered voters in Joburg actually voted. More than half did not even bother. In this year's election, we need at least 80% of all DA supporters to go to the polls and vote DA on both ballots, because everyone will have 2 votes. If everyone who loves Joburg as much as we do works together to rescue her, we can get this great city working. Idia yadibanisa, ikongolose yahlukanisa. And when Joburg works, the people of Joburg work. And when the people of Joburg work, South Africa wins. So we have to get Joburg working. Get Joburg working. Get Joburg working.
Right there, hear me. All right, so that was an interesting speech, very powerful speech, good speech, I thought. But I don't know, man. Like, sure, spoke about a lot of things, spoke about a lot of important issues in South Africa, in Joburg specifically, obviously. She mentioned illegal immigration. She mentioned illegal invasions, which I was quite surprised about. Personally,
Me too.
I would like to know how she's going to tackle that, because, but this goes back to what I was saying about the PA, you know, using that issue as a political or politicking in order to win votes. So I would love to find out, and maybe we can in a moment, we'll see, if she plans on tackling that issue, how exactly does she plan on tackling it, you know? Because the only way to tackle land invasions is by changing the PI Act or doing away with it. You need to either amend the PI Act to make it a criminal offense to hijack buildings or to jump over someone's wall and put up a shack. You need to change the PI Act, and that's the only way you're going to fix that issue. And I'm wondering, is that what she plans to do, or is she just politicking right now?
Yeah, well, that's the thing that bothers me, Joe, is the fact that generally speaking, the DA stays away from, let's call it the illegal. Well, firstly, you've got the illegal foreigner side of it and those sorts of occupancies, but then you've also got this sort of illegal stuff that goes into the PI Act. Anybody of any nationality just illegally occupying buildings. And we never really hear the DA speaking about it. But then something else that troubled me, Joe, and this is why I'm not entirely sure if I believe her on that, is that she said the other day in an interview that a lot of the people who are voting for Herman Mashaba or who supported him before, they do so because they're xenophobic or they're against certain groups, without paraphrasing her too much. And so that's what gets me to think, is it really the case? So I do kind of share a little bit of your skepticism in that regard.
Yeah, and I think going back to our previous conversation, I can't remember where we left off exactly, but we were talking.
Yeah, we were
about,
talking about the whole Patriotic Alliance thing.
Yes, and how I thought that the Patriotic Alliance were using the hijacked buildings as, again, politicking, trying to win votes and stuff like that, because it is a contentious, and it's something that is in the forefront of people's mind in Johannesburg. These hijacked buildings, it's a problem. I'm not saying it's not a problem, but at the end of the day, the only way to fix it is through the PI Act, and you cannot do anything unless you fix the PI Act. And Kunene was saying he wants to amend the PI Act in order to make hijacked buildings, like, criminalize that. Yes. But he didn't mention anything about checks. He didn't mention anything about the other issues with the PI Act. He was focused in on that. And when their political leader, Gain McKenzie, goes on stage and says that he supports EWC, makes me very skeptical of what Kunene is, because you were saying that, they want to protect private property, or property in general. And I'm like, I to an extent, they do.
They're like flip-flopping on the issue, basically.
Yeah, well, I would say not even flip-flopping. I would say they're seeing, much like Helen is, they're seeing. There's a lot of people there, as you can see. It's great to see.
Yeah.
You're seeing two political parties talk about more or less the same issue. Helen Zille talked about land invasion, which is a more broader problem. Hijacked building is more specific. So you got the PA talking about the hijacked buildings, but you have Helen Zille talking about land invasions. Now, the PI Act doesn't solve, but it allows for both. And if you fix the PI Act, now you can fix certain sections of the PI Act that will fix the hijacked buildings, or you fix all of it and you fix the hijacked buildings and land invasions. So I think for Kunene, he's playing it careful with how, because he thinks the land invaders can't be touched. The left think that, shame, they're poor, let them be, they have nowhere else to go, blah, blah, blah. So I'm theorizing. He doesn't want to get into that discussion or that debate. He's saying everybody's out is crying about the hijacked buildings. Let's fix that. Let's fix that in the PI Act. That's what I'm worried about, because I haven't seen anything about the PA. Sorry, I haven't seen anything about the PA saying that they're going to completely amend the PI Act. Whereas with the DA,
they did have a. Yeah, sorry, Joe. Don't want to keep interrupting. It's just on that point, there was a press release that they released, and so they did explain in the press release specifically that they need to urgently amend the PI Act to criminalize bad faith occupation. That was number one. Number two, create expedited eviction procedures. Number three, review the criteria for alternative accommodation, clarify municipal responsibilities, and then enforce an integrated intergovernment protocol. So the words they really used is expedite the eviction process and criminalize bad faith occupation. Joe, sorry, just to give you
to
add to your points.
This is from the DA or PA?
Patriotic Alliance. The DA, I don't know.
Okay, well that's surprising me from the PA. Because
see, that's probably I'll be honest, I actually never heard what Gates and McKenzie said about EWC. I guess I missed that one, but I do remember hearing about the press release itself. So that's more what I was talking about. But you make a good point, Joe, because I actually looked up here the manifesto which I read, and listen to how weird this is. So the PA said that, sorry, I'm just pulling it up, that they said that they would look to enforce equitable respect for property rights and occupancy rights, which means they would make it easier for a property owner to take on a non-paying or abusive tenant, which sounds good. But then at the same time, they talk about the fact that they would be willing to utilize unused land and seize unused land. And I'm thinking that's a very vague term. So yeah, it seems like on one hand, they're very solid on the PI Act, but then on the other hand, EWC, I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. And again, that's it still worries me to have a party that supports that. If your leader is saying he's okay with EWC, I don't remember his correct wording, but I do remember that he was in Parliament. This was maybe a year or two ago, and I remember on X everybody was talking about it, like, oh, Gayton, doesn't support private property rights, and he was in a speech saying that there must be EWC. That's what he said. So, and I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, that was his message.
Mixed messaging, basically.
Yeah, maybe in 2 years he's changed. I don't know, but like it still worries me. People do change. I'll give you that. But there's other issues I have with the PA. But when it comes to private property rights, the only party that I see that is doing something about it is the Freedom Front Plus and the Democratic Alliance. So the Democratic Alliance, I spoke, you saw my documentary, I spoke to Luyolo in the DA, who's pioneering the push to amend the PI Act. We went into great detail in that with my documentary, so I won't do it again now. And now, actually, in March, they're supposed to table it again in the committee. I must follow up with Luyolo on that, or Luyelo, sorry, and see what the next step is, because this is it. I did the documentary in June last year, and at that time they said, "Oh, we're gonna meet in March." So we're here, March 2026. Let's see where it goes. So we'll figure that out. I think enough about the PA. To discuss the DA quickly. And look, for all intents and purposes, Helen gave an amazing speech. I'm not going to lie. It's an amazing speech. I think it's what the Johannesburg people wanted to hear. I don't know how you feel about it. You live in Joburg. Let me know. What did you think of the speech?
Look, there were some very positive points, I thought. The thing that stood out to me straight away, Joe, was the fact that she mentioned getting the private sector involved. So something that I mentioned just before was how you look at Sandton City, or rather Sandton, the greater area, and you see the amazing work that's being done by private sector. You've also got, for example, CAP, Community Active Protection. They're a great private security company, but they also have their green team, which does a lot of work to maintain pavements, maintain a lot of the shrubbery and the grass and stuff like that. And so I'm thinking, I really like the sound of that. Let's get the private sector involved, because they really outperform the government significantly. And I think that's smart, Let's take the people that actually get the results and let them take charge. Let's not just keep having the state control absolutely everything. So yeah, if there was one takeaway that I really liked, it was that. The rest of it's kind of like you mentioned, Joe, where we kind of expected her to say what she said. And then, she does that thing that I can't stand. I'm sorry, but this whole thing of these small Inyana parties are all going to go with the ANC and whatever. Like, Helen, that's not going to get us to vote for you. That's just going to irritate us more, because we've heard that line before. And some people don't ideologically align with the DA. You can't help that. Like, I don't see how a staunch Freedom Front Plus or ACDP voter is going to say, let me give up my values and vote DA, because that's a Liberal Party. Those are two conservative parties, So yeah, that was like my one thing that does bother me. I just wish she would drop that and rather just focus on the issues.
Yeah, fair point, definitely. Are you a PA supporter, ACD supporter, or ACDP supporter, or a DA supporter, or an EFF supporter, or an ANC supporter, or an MK supporter?
IFP. No, I'm joking. So basically, isn't it obvious? No, so okay. First things first. I never voted for the PA, and I don't think I would. I mean, listen, unless you want Kenny Kunene as your mayor, which I don't think I do, I wouldn't be voting for them in this election. Especially because they're part of the coalition that ruined the city. Like, let's be real here.
That's
But
fair, yeah.
yeah, I was just kind of mentioning them in a group of parties that I view as being more to the right. That's more the sort of, I think we got a little bit carried away on the PA talking points, but yeah, it wasn't supposed to be a promotional campaign for the PA. Let's not get that wrong. But yeah, there are a few parties that I have on my radar. I like I'd say at this moment in time, I'm feeling the Freedom Front Plus. I'm not saying
I
I'm
would agree with
definitely
that.
going to vote for them, but I just think that if I had to look at their manifesto, but also what they say and what they do, they just seem to be the most airtight in terms of their values, and you know where they stand. Like this whole argument that we had about the PA and even the DA, even Helen Zille, sometimes we're not quite sure where do they stand on issues. Then they talk about them, then they're silent. Whereas I think the Freedom Front Plus, and I'll say the ACDP as well, they're a little bit more concrete. Yeah, what do you think, Joe?
I would definitely agree with you on a lot of that. So, like, I've seen that a lot with the Freedom Front Plus. I think it was Ronaldo before he joined Freedom Front Plus, who said that when he was still actually with the DA, he mentioned this, that the Freedom Front Plus, despite what people say about it, they've been consistent, like throughout their years. Like they say what they want to do, they say what they're about, and they didn't flip flop. They haven't moved to the right or to the left more. They were consistent, and they still are. I think they've shifted a little bit their branding just a little bit, and what I mean by that is they're trying to cater more to, or they're trying to get out of the box of, it's a white party and it only cares about Afrikaans people. I think they're trying to get out of that box a little bit. So in that way, in that way they're changing, but their values are still the same, and even more expanded on self-determination, which I'm very much for. A federalist state, or independence, and before people think I'm crazy or whatever, when I talk about independence, I'm not just talking about Cape independence. There's also the Zulu kingdom that wants to break away. They've spoken about it before. I am 100% behind that as well. I think if there's any group of people that want independence, they must get it. They must be allowed to choose for themselves whether or not they want to do it democratically. And if they want it, they must get it. There's obviously a reason why they want to be independent. But that's my opinion on independence. And also, I think that when it comes to the Freedom Front Plus, I've started to lean more towards them, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm watching them. I'm keeping an eye on them. I'm speaking to some Freedom Front Plus individuals that work there or that are involved, and I'm starting to favor them. I'm not gonna lie. It's interesting. The only thing that holds me a little bit back is that, and I think this is where the DA kind of has the upper hand, is the DA have proof of concept, right? Like Helen mentioned it now in her speech. We're running the Western Cape. It works. This is what happens when the DA runs the thing. We don't really have a lot of examples of the Freedom Front Plus running a city or municipality or whatever. I think they would run it clean, but we don't have a lot of those examples. So it worries me, like, what happens when you put people who don't have a lot of experience with running something smoothly? What happens when you put them in power? Does the power corrupt them? Does it not corrupt them? Do they do a better job than the DA? I don't know. And that's the risk, I think, when it comes to new parties and where people go. They want to see, especially now, they want to see proof of concept. And that's where I think the DA may win a little bit on that front.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I think that in a way, the Freedom Front Plus can have a little bit of proof of concept because they've been in coalitions with the DA in many parts of the country. For example, in Tshwane, before Action SA threw them all under the bus. We all know what happened there. But you've seen how there's this sort of trend where, generally speaking, it seems that the DA likes to work with the Freedom Front Plus, the ACDP, and the IFP. That always seems to be the sort of coalition that the DA goes towards. Used to be Action SA, but not so much anymore after Herman lost his mind. But I think, yeah, I think that the Freedom Front Plus and those small kind of parties can say, look, we helped the DA to run those places. But then it's kind of like you said, they might have done 1 or 2%. And then the other guys did like, well, the DA specifically did like 45%. So there's always going to be just the numbers game that's always in the DA's favor. So I do get what you're saying on that.
Exactly. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end it here. We thought that there was going to be a chance for Q&A, but it seems I've just got word that that's not happening anymore. So we're going to call it. We're going to end it here. Keep an eye out for when we do a live stream again. We do live streams every Tuesday at 12 p.m. every afternoon for an hour. We have different panelists on the show. We have different guests on the show. We'll be having Matthew with us soon, I'm sure. So please check out every Tuesday, 12 p.m., our live stream where we have a general discussion about South Africa, current affairs and international affairs, the week that was and the week that is to come. For those of you that joined us on this stream, thank you so much. Let us know in the comment section what you thought of Helen Zille's manifesto launch / goals that she wants to accomplish in Johannesburg. And do you think Helen is going to save Johannesburg? Let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to Truth Report. And with all that being said, your Truth Report is in. Matthew, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Joe.